Here's why I'm mad about the underwater movie. This movie has nowhere else to go. And if it is going to go somewhere, they're going to have to do a much better job putting it together. And I feel like the likelihood is there that it will fall on its ass. I'll explain why. Now, I spoke with my partner here at Altiori and another friend of ours. I think the movie had potential. We already did a review on it. You can go check that out. I'm not saying I hated the movie, so please, me heavily criticizing it does not mean that. The fact that I'm making several videos after that one means that I was interested in the concept. So it had its problems, but it does have potential. But after finding out what I just did, it just made me feel very sad. It was very underwhelming and anticlimactic. And here's why. They're expecting there to be an underwater sequel. So we have the underwater movie. After the ending, we're like, wow, we're going to get a sequel. But there's nowhere left for it to go. Not realistically anyway. Now, the last video that I put up called Underwater Movie Lovecraft Monster Theory, I was talking about whether or not the creature was Kraken or Cthulhu, and honestly, it had more in lieu with the Kraken. Yeah, it does bear some resemblance to Cthulhu, but it doesn't have wings, it's weak, it's afraid of an explosion. Like, there's just certain things that just don't fit alongside the mighty Cthulhu, this cosmic entity that his very gaze makes people insane, and come on, like, that didn't happen in the movie. And then I also conceded saying that maybe they watered it down some, but if that's the case, and you were planning on making a universe from this, that's if this thing is not a one-off, why would you put the main boss in the first movie? Us humans would be insignificant. How would we expect to defeat something like this? Yes, it's supposed to be Lovecraftian inspired, and I get that. And honestly, the director, in my opinion, should have just not said it was Cthulhu. It should have been implied, just like with Bird Box. See how well Bird Box worked? Everyone thought that that was Cthulhu. Well, they weren't thinking it at first, but me and a few other YouTubers were like, yeah, that sounds like Cthulhu, what was going on. And it was heavily implied. Even in the drawings that some of these people made, the drawings that were presented in the movie, you could tell that these are like these eldritch monsters that you can't see because these things exist outside of our universe, or our dimension, rather. So it was more realistic in the sense that this is exactly what was happening. Humans were nothing. Us just looking at this thing that you can't really even see. If you do see it, no one knows what it looks like if we don't see it, because as soon as you do see it, you go crazy. Like, it was just so deep, so profound, and that felt more like a Lovecraft horror than a lot of other movies I've seen with the same theme. Taking the first movie, and if you're expecting a sequel off of it, or to build a franchise or universe off of it, and then giving us the boss, this ultimate monster, that his very appearance, his manifestation is supposed to render us insane, and putting him at the end of the movie is like, okay. I mean, we don't know if the monster is dead. They imply that it might be, but I don't think it is. Look at that thing. It existed under that earth for how long? I don't think mere explosions are going to kill it. But that's what they imply. And then saying 100% that it's Cthulhu, it's kind of like, oh, okay. So there's no reason to watch another movie then, because what are we going to do? Watch a sequel with Cthulhu turning everyone mad? And it's going to be just that, which I get it. That could be really cool. You're going to get another Bird Box, because Cthulhu just storming through the city and farting and stepping on everyone is not going to be very exciting at all, unless you're planning to have this thing fight Godzilla, or unless the Cthulhu that you're calling Cthulhu is not really Cthulhu, but that's what the director said. So, we either have that, which is very bland, and that movie would fail, or we have humans, yay, defeating Cthulhu, which would be very bland, and that would kill the franchise. So you just kill the franchise by admitting, even if you were to just leave in Cthulhu, because the damage is done. Don't say it's Cthulhu, because if you said it was the Kraken, or you said it was something else, some other eldritch monster, or something that is much weaker than those things, you leave the door open for there being a sequel, for you building a universe where there's something even worse out there. You know what I mean? Like, it just made me kind of sad, because I thought to myself, okay, with this first movie, I want to see where this is going. There's going to be more things where that thing came from. But, oh no, it's Cthulhu, and it gets scared away by an explosion. It just kills the reverence of the monster for me. And when I hear the word Cthulhu, I think about a creature, a thing whose existence is beyond our puny mortal understanding. The whole purpose of H.P. Lovecraft's monsters is to create things that are incomprehensible, indescribable, ineffable, impossible. Cthulhu is an extraterrestrial entity thing, and he somewhat exists in our dimension and somewhat doesn't. So it's like he's real, but he's not. His existence should not make sense to us. We shouldn't say, yo, dude, there's this thing over there that's as big as a plane. Let's shoot stuff at it and hope it goes away. That shouldn't even enter your mind. Your mind won't even work when you look at Cthulhu. You don't even speak his name. And yeah, it sounds like I'm fangirling, but I hate when they take monsters like this and then they just drop them. I mean, if it's a video game, it's different because, you know, it's a video game. But if you're going to make a serious work off of this and make something beautiful like Underwater that has so much potential and then just slap this name on a monster that is nothing like Cthulhu, except for what his depiction, his manifestation, his appearance would look like if you were to try and describe him, which you'd fail at anyway. So, in my mind, the franchise is finished. What else are they going to do with it? And if they try either of the ways I said, there's only certain ways you can do this unless you're going to cross it over with some kind of Godzilla or Cloverfield universe, where these things come through and they go back through the portal and you try to close it, and then at that point it becomes cheesy and inane. You know, maybe I'm gonna get pitchfork stabbed through my nose hole for saying that, but that's my opinion. And I wish the director didn't say that. I feel like maybe I'm wrong. I can't tell you that this is exactly what he was thinking. I just feel like maybe he was saying that because that's what his interpretation of Cthulhu was. Or maybe it's marketing. Maybe he wants people to think that it's Cthulhu because he knows that's what people want. But really, you don't really leave any space, any give for your franchise to grow when you put the cap on it like that. Some of the best franchises are those that are open-ended, those that don't put an actual label on their stuff, like Bird Box. Lovecraftian horror is usually kind of like Twilight, where you go into the experience, but you don't know what you just did or went through or experienced. It's just like, what the hell happened? What? I can't describe this. This isn't happening. Is it happening? I don't know. What the hell did I just watch? That's what you're supposed to feel after coming away from a horror like this, from a Lovecraftian horror. That's what I get from H.P. Lovecraft. Not, oh, that was Cthulhu. Oh, snap, son. Why? Why do you think that was Cthulhu? Was it because of the power that you felt in the way they translated this on screen? Did you feel the people as they were going insane? No, because the director said so and it looks like him. Oh, okay. Well, there you have it, folks. No wonder. Nothing. No mystery. No real room for substantial growth. If this was going to be a franchise, Cthulhu should have probably been the 7th movie. They should have left the Titan away, like they should have just put him in the back burner and say, you know what? We'll keep people wanting more. We'll imply that there's something else down there and not show the monster. When the movie ends, we think that, oh, we've killed all of those creatures. Nope, they're going to continue drilling because we know the company's going to continue drilling. And then you hear that noise, the real noise you've been hearing from the beginning of the Underwater movie, that and that basal guttural groan, and you realize that none of what we saw in the Underwater movie made that sound. The sound that we heard on the microphone was something that we didn't see in the movie, and it's still down there, and these people are drilling. That's how they should have ended the movie. And now, knowing that this is, air quotes, Cthulhu, it just kills the whole thing for me. I'm so disappointed. Oh, give us some Steven Spielberg or some James Cameron, please. Now, this is not me bashing the director, okay? I don't want anyone to think that that's what I'm doing. He is still very talented. I think that there are things he could have done better for me personally, but I think given what he did okay with it. It wasn't amazing. It wasn't great. It wasn't Avatar proportions or Jurassic Park proportions or even Cloverfield proportions. It was just, it's a good experience. It had potential. And then he did the thing he wasn't supposed to do. He went on an interview with a YouTuber and told all the audiences that, yeah, that's what the monster is. No. You let your audience keep wondering. You don't know. It may be, it may not be. Do what other big franchise producers do. Let the audience decide. Don't say anything. Especially with your first movie. Let them continue wondering what the hell is that. Even if it is Cthulhu, don't say so. Well, there that goes. On the flip side of this, if this is going to be a one and done movie and this is what he intended for it to be, then it's fine. I guess it works because then the ending is, what are we gonna do? We've just unleashed this thing, everyone is dead. You already know what happens when you unleash Cthulhu from his imprisonment. You know, what else is there? Everyone goes insane, everyone dies. Then Cthulhu doesn't even see us, we're insignificant to him. He goes off and he continues warring with the other eldritch gods or whatnot. We are the epitome of a floating eyelash that was shed in a blink that he had while he was sitting on the toilet for a few seconds out of his eternity of life. Where do you take something like that unless you let people experience it? Let's say they do try to take that route with the movie, it being out of isolation, different theme, everything's on land now, there are more creatures, and Cthulhu comes on land, and everyone's, oh my god, and then you try to do the Bird Box route. You've now introduced inconsistency to your work. And I know what that's like when you're like, oh crap, but if you're millions of dollars are going into this, you have to provide consistency, because you cannot have people down in the water seeing these things and not going insane, and then when you go on land, everyone goes insane, and then what are you going to do? Write off and say, it's because they were in the water, so the insane waves didn't hit them the way they do on land. You can't do that. You've ruined it. I'm sorry for this rant, guys. It just made me mad, and I found this out after I already uploaded that other video there, and the whole point is like, yeah, we can theorize this and wonder what theory's out the window. Forget this. It's Cthulhu. That thing that's afraid of explosions and people, apparently, that's Cthulhu. That's it. That's the big old god that drives people insane. Yup, so I don't know. There is really nothing left for me to theorize on this, because why would I theorize? The director already put it out there. The quickest way to get people to stop talking about your movie is to put a title on the thing that's supposed to be mysterious. That's how you get people to stop talking about it. Now we know. Thanks. Next. Notice how trendy Bird Box was, because no one knew what in the shit was going on with that movie. Everyone was like, no, it's Cthulhu. No, it's this. No, it's not really happening. It's the people doing this. Everyone's actually insane. It's all a dream. Nobody knows. And because I don't know, everyone kept talking about it, and the movie blew up. It was a Netflix movie. Netflix. You had people doing Bird Box challenges and getting hit by cars because that movie was so trendy. Because no one knew what the monsters were. It was implied that it was Cthulhu, and it was implied that it was like 60 other things. And there's all these questions, like, how does it work? What is it? That's how that movie became so successful. Because no one knew what it was, and the producers, the director was smart enough to not put a name on it. Look, if he did or she did or whoever, I don't even remember who the director is, then I apologize, I'm wrong. But as far as I know, I could not find, when I was researching back then, anywhere where the director was saying, yes, it is this monster. This is what it means. Some of the best art is left up to interpretation by the audiences, and that's how your art grows. That's how your franchise grows. Even with Godzilla, with the new reboot of Godzilla, we're still learning about him. And the fact that there are different Titans out there, notice how they ended the Godzilla King of the Monsters. These are only 17 Titans so far. Now we're finding out their waste actually helps us. How is it that Godzilla can do this, spew the atomic breath and not hurt people? There's still so much we have to learn about Godzilla and these Titans. But it's Cthulhu. So everyone knows Cthulhu. It's just this big old monster thing that is just really big. We didn't see it do anything else. We didn't see it mind control anyone. It just sent its minions after people after the pod, and it's just waving its little tentacle beard around like, I'm gonna get you in slow motion. Crap, that thing's making a noise. It's getting really hot. I think it's gonna explode. I don't want to die. Swim away. And that was the movie. Okay, I'm done. This video is long enough without me bashing and flapping my gums about just being angry about nonsense. What do you guys think? Am I blowing this way out of proportion? Do you think that I'm stupid and I'm just being a stupid, dumb bitch? I'm sorry. I'm mad, guys. Or, do you think that I have a point? Are you excited that you're like, okay, I think this franchise could work? And if you do believe that the franchise could work with a sequel, how would you do it? Maybe my brain is really small and I just haven't figured it out yet. But how would you write a franchise sequel after what we know now about the monster, according to the director? Let us know in the comments, and thanks so much for watching. This has been Ultiori. You ask, we answer.